Shedeur Sanders had a real chance to win Cleveland's starting job. Deshaun Watson was struggling, fans were turning against him, and everything seemed to be moving in Shedeur's direction. Then the Browns made one stunning decision that changed the entire quarterback battle overnight. But why did Cleveland's suddenly choose Watson over Shedeur? Deshaun is going to start against Jacksonville. That is how Monken opened his Monday press conference, and he did not hedge a single word of it. He said the staff took in the full body of work across the offseason program, training camp, the joint practices against Buffalo, and both preseason games. And ultimately, opening the season on the road, Watson gave Cleveland the best chance to move the ball and score points. Then came the part that lit the fuse. Monken said he does not anticipate this being a week-to-week situation. Read that again, because in coach language that is enormous. Monken did not say Watson has the job for now. He did not leave a trapdoor open under the guy. He handed Deshaun Watson the Cleveland Browns offense with no expiration date attached, in a stadium where the fans were screaming at him 3 days earlier. Monken even said the quiet part out loud, that the staff expects Watson to play well, or they would not be starting him. And pay attention to the exact words Monken chose, because coaches pick them carefully at that podium. He did not say Watson gives Cleveland the best chance to win. He said Watson gives them the best chance to move the ball and score points. That is a much narrower endorsement than it sounds. Monken is talking about operating an offense, getting through progressions, and running a functional huddle on the road. He is not making a proclamation about Watson's ceiling, but you cannot understand how wild this is without the timeline. So let's rewind. Saturday night in Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders got the start against the Buffalo Bills. Watson came off the bench in the second half, in front of a home crowd, and it went badly. 5 completions on 12 attempts, 36 passing yards, 1 interception, a passer rating of 14.6. The boos started on his first incompletion, got louder on the 3 and out, and followed him off the grass. And Watson did not eat it quietly. Standing at the podium afterward, he said the whole world knows the reaction had nothing to do with his performance. He said it was more personal than that, and he called it a disrespectful thing. Now, Watson's history in Cleveland is complicated, and everyone watching knows why. The trade in 2022, the $230 million fully guaranteed, the suspension that season, the injuries. Fans have carried all of it for 4 years. So when the quarterback tells them their frustration is disrespectful, that is not a small moment. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky went on air and told Browns fans to boycott games over the decision. Then Monday flipped everything again. Watson opened his media session with an apology before anyone asked a question. He said his emotions got the best of him, that he had put 2 years into the rebuild and thought he would get a different response, and that his comments were not aimed at the fans who have supported him. He said he understands the frustration. He said he thrives off the energy of the fans. An apology and a promotion in the same afternoon. You cannot script that. And that is where the whole thing starts to wobble. Look at what actually happened on the field this August, and neither one of these quarterbacks won this job. Watson's full preseason line reads 16 completions on 27 attempts for 162 yards, 0 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Sanders threw for a touchdown against Buffalo, going 9 of 11 for 74 yards with a pick, and across both exhibitions he finished 15 of 22 for 153 yards, 1 score, 2 interceptions. Nobody separated. Nobody grabbed it. Which tells you this competition was decided in the practice facility, in the joint sessions against Buffalo's defense, and in the meeting room, long before anyone lined up under those stadium lights. And in fairness to Monken, the Shedeur Sanders case is not as clean as social media pretends. Sanders played 8 games as a rookie in 2025. He finished around 1,400 passing yards with 7 touchdowns against 10 interceptions and a 68.1 passer rating, completing roughly 57% of his throws. The Browns went 5-12, ranked 31st in scoring at 16.4 points a game, and 31st in passing offense at 185 yards a game. He had real flashes. His debut against Carolina was 14 of 23 for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 30-10 win. Against Tennessee, he went 23 of 42 for 364 yards with 3 touchdown passes and a rushing score. One of the best statistical games a Browns rookie quarterback has ever put together. But the film showed a consistent problem: slow drops, slow processing, and holding the ball too long after he had already made the decision to throw. That is a timing issue, and timing issues do not disappear in one training camp. Monken watched that tape all spring, which brings us to the money, because you cannot talk about Cleveland's quarterback room without it. Watson is in the final year of a fully guaranteed $230 million contract, the deal that reshaped how the entire league thinks about guaranteed money. Since the Browns traded for him in 2022, he has never played more than 7 games in a single season. He ruptured his Achilles in Week 7 of 2024 against Cincinnati, then ruptured it again during rehab the following winter. And that is the tragedy sitting underneath all of this. The player Cleveland traded 3 first-round picks to acquire was a 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback in Houston who led the entire league in passing yards in 2020. That version of Deshaun Watson has not appeared in a Browns uniform once. Monken saw the athleticism return this spring and said so publicly, but praising a quarterback in shorts on a practice field in May is a very different thing than trusting him in Jacksonville in September. Monken already said he is not worried about the first home game he will be. And behind Watson sits a quarterback room that has not stopped moving in years. Sanders as the backup. Dillon Gabriel, a 3rd-round pick from 2025 who already made 6 starts as a rookie. Rookie Taylon Green from the 6th round. This is the same franchise that has burned through starting quarterbacks at a pace no other team can match since 1999. So the Browns have made their call. Deshaun Watson opens the season in Jacksonville with a fan base that booed him in August, an apology still hanging in the air, and a coach who publicly bet his first year on him. Shedeur Sanders holds a clipboard and waits, knowing this exact situation is how he got his first NFL start in the first place. Watson said he thrives off the energy of the fans. In 3 weeks, at that home opener in Cleveland, he is going to find out exactly what that energy sounds like. What do you think? Did Monken get this right, or did Cleveland just waste another season protecting a contract? Drop your take in the comments and hit subscribe so you do not miss what happens when this thing finally breaks.